AC, let me ask you, as journalists, investigative journalists, we go in, we intend to turn over the apple cart and really disrupt somebody else's life. Shouldn't we expect the same for us when we get in there?
Yeah, my boss, Robin Fields, once said, we intervene very forcefully in people's lives, and I thought that was a very good way to put it. I think that's one thing that we have to be aware of is that, yeah, there may be people coming back at us. There may be people scrutinizing us very heavily. And luckily, for those of us who live in the U.S., being a journalist is less dangerous than being a cab driver. It's really what you're looking at is reputational. You're looking at people assailing your credibility. You're looking at people putting up websites, trashing you. And occasionally, you're looking at people following you home, but not too often. But I think, yeah, you absolutely have to expect that there's going to be serious scrutiny of you when you do a serious story.
And so what is your advice then when you go into a story, when you pick powerful targets?
Get it right?
It's folly to think, right, that there won't be a blowback.
I mean, I was, look, at one point I was really naive because I was hanging out with law enforcement sources in New Orleans, and they said, don't let people know that I'm talking to you because 2 pounds of cocaine will show up in the trunk of my car, and I don't do cocaine. And I thought these people were tripping. I thought they'd watched too much Training Day. And then I started meeting ex-cops who had done that to people, who had planted drugs on people, who had planted guns on people. One of them who was arrested for robbing banks while he was a cop. And I realized, oh yeah, there are times when you need to be very, very, very careful. And, you should probably be a little less naive than I was at that point.
I think one consequence of the campaign against me was financial. Because I knew that my book would be so scrutinized, which I agree is fair game. If we're going to put ourselves on the front lines, we expect the other side should be able to do the same thing. But I needed to be triply sure that I got it right. So I hired a team of professional fact checkers to vet my manuscript for over a year, and basically spent down my entire book advance on having it independently vetted, because the book publishers aren't going to do that. They do a legal read, but it's up to the writer and the reporter to get it right. So I wanted that second pair of eyes on every single fact and word that went into my book, which was the right journalistic decision, but as a business proposition was definitely not a winning one. So I think that's an example where I put my own livelihood on the line because I knew that what the other side was firing at me, if they had an inch, if I gave them even something to just latch onto, that would be, they'd run with it. So I did that to my own detriment.